kind of hard to know where to start here, but maybe with the intentional grounding call, what happened on that, and what were your thoughts on it being called a penalty?
We had a run play called, and based on the defensive look they were given, it was going to be a tough run to get, and we're probably going to get stuffed and then have to clock it and then hope for the best with a field goal. We were hoping for maybe a few more yards to have it be a more makeable field goal, and I looked over the sideline out of the corner of my eye, and I just saw the coaches saying throw it. And, they wanted potentially an audible, get to an actual pass play. I thought they were saying if you just throw it by Jamison in the general area of Jamison, there's an eligible in the area, and there's no penalty. So what I didn't understand was, had Jamison turned around and looked at me and the ball been thrown past his head up and away out of bounds, would that be a penalty? Is it just that he wasn't looking at me, he was looking to go block somebody, that made it a penalty? I don't know. I thought if he's in the area of where the ball is thrown that, they wouldn't flag it, but I can understand why the flag was thrown in the sense that it appeared like, he wasn't trying to catch it, and so it looks like I'm throwing it to nobody.
Once you make the decision that you're not handing the ball off because it's a run play, no one else is out on a route, do you really have any other option there, or are you just hoping that they don't call the penalty? And I'm guessing the penalty probably never even entered your mind. Yeah,
my thought process was if the ball goes in Jamison's direction, in the area, how do you define an inaccurate throw from a intentional grounding? And I thought, if he had turned and looked at me and the ball had been 10 feet over his head, I could just say, oh, it slipped out of my hand, it was inaccurate. And that's what I didn't understand, was how do you separate an inaccurate throw from a, no eligible in the area. I felt like an eligible was in the area, so I threw it in the area. But I can understand why the call was what it was, but it certainly hurt us.
Did you ask the officials about that? Is that the explanation they gave you?
I didn't take the time to. I'm nervous about, getting the next play call, the play clock running down. I can't have a conference with them for 30 seconds. I'd waste too much time, and I'm trying to get our guys going for the next play.
Falling to 4-6, what kind of pressure does this put on y'all for the next 6 weeks?
I don't view it that way. There was pressure week 1 when we were 0-0. There's pressure if you're 8-0. It just doesn't. You just go 1 week at a time. It's so cliche, but it's the best way to operate. And whether we're 4-6, 6-4, 10-0, I would go into this next game with the exact same approach and mental makeup.
You've been incredibly complimentary, and understandably so, of Chris Thompson over the years. To see him go down like that, I know yourself on that play, obviously you got hurt as well, but as you kind of realize what the seriousness of his injury, what's going through your mind, and what do you have to say about Chris?
Yeah, didn't know until he had gone inside, and my quarterback coach told me, it looks like we lost Chris, for the year, for a while with a broken leg. So understood at that point, into the fourth quarter that had taken place, and it's tough. Chris was one of our best players, if not our best player this year, and this game has tested all of us, including him, and he's just had a phenomenal season, and it's going to be challenging to continue to move the ball with all the guys that we've had injured, but we'll find a way and just keep grinding and believe that if we do that, good things will happen.
Kirk, can you just revisit that whole series of events? You get the hit, Chris goes down, you guys, execute a perfect fake, you get back on the field, you go 94 yards for the score. It seemed like maybe it was a little chaotic in that moment, but what was that like? And then also that you guys completed that drive, how much do you think that sort of signifies what this team is about?
I think it's a great example of how it's a team game. We relied on special teams to keep us on the field, and they came through for us. And that drive was a combination of running the ball, throwing to a variety of different receivers and tight ends, and we counted on everybody. So that's the way you have to win in this league, especially on the road. You have to find ways, and it may not always be pretty, but today we just didn't make enough plays, but we certainly gave ourselves a really good chance.
You and Josh had a good rapport going early. Can you talk specifically about some of the 50-50 balls and what you saw on those decisions to throw him, and then what changed later where he wasn't as available for whatever the reason is?
Yeah, Josh did a phenomenal job, and we've talked about it. We've said that's something he does really well. We need to continue to give him opportunities. And on the last play of regulation where I got hit, I was trying to give him a similar throw. And, I believe, I have to see the film, but I believe I was hot. and the blitzer was free and got me, and I couldn't get the ball to Josh. But we were trying throughout the game to get him opportunities. But, a lot of times it's just the play call and the reads. They took him away for whatever reason, and I worked somewhere else.
Thanks, Kirk.
All right, thank you.